Within the recent decade, the cinema of South Korea has climbed its way to the top of international film, and deservedly so, as it continues to shock with its striking storytelling that often end in extreme moments of violence. So much so that its use of melodrama and revenge have somewhat become the stereotypes of South Korean movies. South Korean movies can often be brutal yet minimalistic in their violence, realistic and quick in the depiction of bloodshed, often displaying a grit not seen in other world cinema. 2010's The Man from Nowhere is the quintessential South Korean action movie. While South Korea is mostly known for its unique dramas, Man from Nowhere is the action movie that harnesses the industry's brutal realism and penchant for emotional melodrama to create one of the most effective crime action movies in recent times. At first glance, the story of a lone man with a mysterious past and skills to go with his stoic presence being pulled into the crime underworld to save a young girl may not sound original, echoing such classics as Leon the Professional or even Taken. But it is in the execution that raises The Man from Nowhere above others. Won Bin plays Cha Tae-sik, a seemingly random lonesome pawnshop owner whose regular patron is a young girl named Soi-mi, played by the then young Kim Se-ron. Soi-mi lives an impoverished, lonely life. Neglected by a drug-addled mother, the two connect through their mutual loneliness. But when Soi-mi's mother runs afoul of certain members of the Seoul underworld by stealing their drugs, Soi-mi is kidnapped and forced into a harsh world of drug deals and organ harvesting. Cha Tae-sik feels compelled to save her. The Man from Nowhere features all the elements of a good crime action tale. A roguish lead that hides his threatening skill under a calm exterior, a roguish detective willing to go beyond the law to take down the bad guys, but with a subtle respect for a hero. Bad guys with punchable faces and demeanors that just make you want to see them get their just desserts. A skilled rival with some honor himself that makes the final battle worthwhile. And of course, an emotional core that makes you stay glued to the screen to see how it all plays out. Won Bin brings a certain calm energy and vulnerability to the lead role. His character isn't some unstoppable, emotionless action machine, and his stoic nature may hide how deadly he truly is. Won Bin, though, masterfully plays a man haunted by the past and trying to hide himself so that he can never be hurt again. His body language is incredible, and you can see he is always using his silence to absorb and understand his surroundings. His body movement is always quick and agile, conveying a sense of knowing and commanding.
우리가 찾는 물건이 좀 있거든? 협조 좀 해줘야겠다. 아, 나 이 씨발 누굴 동네 양아치로 하나.
But the character's humanity and genuine concern for life is always seen on his face. Kim Se-ron, as a child actor, never falls into the pits of typical child actors. Always holding her own in whatever scene she is in, she conveys that naivete but brutal acknowledgement of the world that kids have. The writing and her acting always make her seem like a genuine kid. She is not precocious, but she speaks honestly through the framing of a kid who may not completely understand the reality of her poor life, but knows it is sad. If anything, she makes the story super effective as she feels real.
내가 좋아하는 사람 한 개도 없어. 그 생각하면 여기가 막 아파요. 그니까 안 미워할래.
The rest of the supporting cast is also excellent. Kim Tae-hoon as Detective Kim Chae-gun has the swagger and keen sense of understanding that this type of story asks for. Combined with his more jovial partner, they offer a compelling other side to this criminal yarn. The villains of the story are acted just as well, with so much presence that you understand their vibe right from the get-go. Lee Jeong-beom directs the actors to bring so much humanity to their characters, but he also does not pull back from the harshness of the world. In South Korean movie tradition, the violence is displayed in a harsh and realistic manner. Nothing feels gratuitous, instead displaying skilled editing and excellent choreography. It never feels like violence porn, but instead a realistic representation of the film's subject matter. The direction doesn't stop at the action. The world feels effectively real. The dinginess of the underworld is shown in effective cold lighting and run down in the harsh city streets. The subject matter of drug trafficking and organ harvesting are not pulled away from, but but instead displayed in all their inhumaneness. It's not a movie that feels fake. And all of this culminates into one of the most brutal final action scenes, concluding with one of the most realistic and frightening knife fights on film. One that shows you how quick and scary it could be, but doesn't linger on it to make it over the top and cool, which ironically does make it really entertaining. When I think of South Korean movies, I don't usually think action movies. Revenge dramas are their primary export. Even the Korean remake of A Better Tomorrow doubled down on their revenge. But Man from Nowhere sets the standard that I hope is met one day. It's a truly well-executed crime yarn that shows the best of what South Korean cinema can bring to the world. Hi guys, this is Jojo Sonoshi. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you did, like and subscribe. Should be some other reviews coming up for Ghost of Tsushima and Mafia. If you haven't seen The Man from Nowhere, I recommend you check it out. It's a really good movie. I didn't see it when it came out. It passed me by, and then I discovered it a couple of years later, and it was amazing. It's definitely the type of movie, if you're into just Asian action movies in general, it's definitely something you should look out. It's excellent. So yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.